Hello and selamat datang to wherever to you all wherever in the world you might be. My name is Boz Rosendahl, aka the Mountain, and welcome back to Jakarta for the ninth stop on the 2025 Women's Series season. Day 2 out here in Jakarta, and the action was hot and heavy yesterday in Timur Park. On day 1, we started with a qualifying draw. 2 out of 6 teams qualified into the pool phase. That main draw action was all over the place.
Yo, what's good? My name is Kyle Montgomery, aka
Hmm. Take a look at the brackets for today. We got 4 quarterfinal games before we get into the semifinals. And of course, the finals afterwards. We'll be with you all day and all evening here from Jakarta until we know who grabs that first ever Jakarta Stop crown and that bag, of course. And a bag will be had as a 14,000 US dollar prize is waiting as awaiting a winner. And we got Orléans coming out first. This team yesterday went 2-0 to most twos made in the tournament as well. They shoot it at a high clip, 28% from range. And Stervinu and Manet led them in scoring. They're joined by Brochon and Fofana. And a dangerous Orléans team with, of course, Marie Manet, the Women's Series Finals MVP from 2024. They're going to face off with some danger of their own, though. Batgirl, Ayun Setsek Badardine. She headlines the Ulaanbaatar Amazon squad. She's second leading scorer in the tournament, 7.5 per game, third in rebounds as well. She's joined by Nandemonium and, of course, the Warrior Princess, Ulaanbaatar. And this Ulaanbaatar team lost one game, while Bolaradine Batsoy comes out as well. Lost to Thailand 15-19, then beat Bond Baskets 19-18 on a Nandinku Sil game winner to save their campaign and make an appearance here. They're a bit hot and cold, I'd say. Normally a very good shooting team from 2, but 6 of 26 total, 1 of 13 in that game against Thailand. They just couldn't buy a bucket from range. Then they went 5 of 13 against the Germans, so hot and cold. Let's see how they fare here against Orléans and how they deal with the length of the French. Both these teams are top 5 in rebounding on the field. And again, as mentioned, Ayun Setseg at the forefront of that for the Mongolian ladies. And of course, these Mongolian ladies, they picked up some hardware this year. 3 out of 4 players for the Ulaanbaatar Amazons were at the World Cup for the Mongolian national team, picked up a silver medal, and looking to continue that success and that dominance here out in Indonesia. Mane getting ready. Shot the two ball at a decent clip yesterday. 3 of 10, so 30%. Has struggled quite a bit shooting on the season, but that was an improvement for sure. Sprinting we go, 10 minutes. Adrian Setseg with the first look from 2. No good. And Orléans will grab the ball here. Fofana in the post. Oh, the soft touch from Fofana. Righty hook goes down. Orléans the bird first. Down on the block there. Ulaanbaatar trying to move. The footwork, and that hook's off the mark. Stervinu takes over. Orléans go back to Fofana. They've made it a point going to post often and early in the games that they've played. Ball screen action for Ulaanbaatar. A lead pass into Adrian Setseg. And that's easy money. Stervinu can't squeeze the 2 ball. Stervinu has been red hot from 2. 4 of 9 total on the pool play games yesterday. Good action for her. Co-led the team in scoring together with Mane. 5.5 points per. Whistle on the floor. Adrian Setseg shares it with Ulaanbaatar. Ulaanbaatar to the rack. That's a miss. Strong take, but no make. Fofana, the mid-range shot, also off the mark. And it's Nanda taking over. A whistle on the floor. And that's the second foul on the French ladies, Orléans. High post look here. Fuller Erdine lines up a 2. And Ulaanbaatar, you're going to see him shoot a lot of these and then crash the boards as hard as they can. One of the top rebounding teams in all of the women's series, top 3 going into this tournament. And they're going to line up the long-range shots, and then they're going to try to crash and finish off of offensive rebounds. This team has tremendously improved over the last few years. Credits to Coach Steve Sir, who's been working with the ladies back home in Ulaanbaatar. Headlines the men's and the women's program as Rochant drops in a mid-range shot. Difficult shot. And a rebound with Adrian Setseg. Ulaanbaatar retain possession now. It's tapped out of bounds. That leaves 7 on the shot clock to work with. Orléans out here clamping like airport security, making life real difficult on Ulaanbaatar, putting a lot of pressure on the ball. Quick hands. Nanda difficult 2, leans to the side. Heavy contest from Orléans and a heavy miss. So the team in white will take over with a fresh 12. Stervinu traces down her home rebound. No good. And Mane makes sure that Ulaanbaatar gets the reset on top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nanda to Adrian Setseg. Ulaanbaatar. Ulaanbaatar lines up a 2. It's off the glass and off. With the sun being behind the basket, difficult angle to shoot a 2 right on the top of the key. Adrian Setseg also off the mark. Again, this Ulaanbaatar Amazons team lives and dies with the long-range shot. Of course, they'll hustle. They'll get some ones. But they're going to try to shoot that 2 ball, and they're going to try to shoot a lot of it. Mane at the stripe after that foul. And Mane gets Orléans their 3rd point. No space for a shot. They go down to Adrian Setseg. Adrian Setseg with the footwork up and around. That's easy bake. Servinu can't answer. So the score remains 3-2. And that's gotten us to our first TV timeout in a very low-scoring affair. 3 points, Orléans, 2 Ulaanbaatar. Long-range shots again for Ulaanbaatar has not gone down. Also, Orléans, they've tried a few, but they have not been able to connect. Which team will unlock the long ball, especially again with the sun beaming in at this angle? Makes it extremely difficult to line up a shot. Now, eventually we will lose the sun. That might not be during this game, though. Action continues today all the way through right around 8 p.m. local time, where we'll hand out the prizes out here for the Women's Series. Foul white. 4th on Orléans. Too physical for Brochant. They run the same play. They try to get Kulan a look on the drive. Now a kick out. Adrian Setseg handles the rock, but shoots it wide left. Now Fofana's in position. Neither team able to create consistent offense here. Shots are being missed left and right. Fofana with that right hook. She was successful to start the game, but that one went Mane. Kulan from the logo. Rebound, Ulaanbaatar Amazons. They get it back to Kulan. Screening action now for Adrian Setseg. She's on the move. And another foul on Orléans, who are struggling to contain Ulaanbaatar going towards the basket. They expend another foul. 5 for now. As we are just under 6 minutes, they are getting closer and closer to that bonus. I think Hussein. No. Now she has to guard Mane. Mane asks for a screen. Mane from the logo. That also rolls out. So missed shot after missed shot. Bowler Erdine with a miss of her own. Mane traces down to Wilson. Fofana. Neither team, again, looking to shoot the one all that well. But Adrian Setseg drains the 2 ball. Much needed. Mane with the answer. And it's left short, a foul on the rebound. So even though it is quite cozy out here temperature-wise, 90 Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius, both these teams ice cold to start the game. A 3-4 score as we head to the halfway mark. Servinu, yes. Oui. Orléans now up by 1. Kulan looking to make something happen. Pass Servinu ties the game up at 5. Mane. Finally some scoring unlocked for both these squads. A little bit more pace in the game. Kulan, the answer's there. Actually, never mind. That was Nadine Kusel. So a 6-6 score here. Nanda has to force up the shot due to the shot clock. Brochant tracks it down. They get it to Mane. She's been successful in the last couple of drives and gets this one to go as well. Once she puts her head down, it's so tough to stop her going towards the basket. Mane's athletic. She's long. And she's got the finishing ability underneath that rim. Stervinu this time. And Brochant finishes up the play. So Orléans with a bit of a lead here. 8-6, largest lead of the game. Kulan, the midi. And a foul on the play. That is a take foul. We are under 4 minutes, so second TV timeout. Scoring has picked up slightly here in the last few minutes after a very slow start. Orléans has been able to get drives towards the basket. Ulaanbaatar now get Arjun Setseg back on the court. Screening action for Brochant. They try to get it to Stervinu. Fofana, lefty hook this time. She had the mismatch, but faded on the shot. Bowler Erdine tries one. No. Arjun Setseg, take that somewhere else. Nanda, though, gets the score to the Mongolians. 8-7, Stervinu. She was so good from 2 yesterday, but she's been off the mark in this one. Nanda. And there's Arjun Setseg cleaning up the mess. Score tied yet again. And Bowler Erdine doesn't want any part of that post up. Takes a foul. That's 5 fouls each, 8 points each. This game has more ties than a business event. Double high post look here for the French. They get it to Mané. Mané with space. No room for Nanda to take a shot. Kulan's got 6 on the shot clock to work with. Righty lay. Fofana out with the board. No good. Gets the rebound again. Nanda slows it down. Working behind the screen. Nanda from the mid-range. I think Kusel can't get it to go. So again, a lull in scoring here. Who's going to break this tie? Brochant to the rack. Front of the rim. And it's Kulan tracking down the board. Timeout called with exactly 2 minutes to go in our first quarterfinal action here from Jakarta. Orléans and Ulaanbaatar in a wrestling match, a deadlock. Scores tied at 8. Neither team's been able to unlock consistent offense. Who is going to excel in these last 2 minutes, and what are the tactics they're going to use?
Let's go. 2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes remaining.
Bowler Erdine remains on the bench for the Amazons. They go with Arjun Setseg, Kulan, and Nadine Kusel, the World Cup silver medal winning team. Nanda gets it to Kulan. Kulan working on Mané. Kulan opts for a high arcing 2. Fofana this time. Fofana breaks the tie, 9-8. Strong move from Fofana. Dropping that left shoulder, making sure that right hook went down. Kulan, though, 9-9. Every time Orléans gets up, Ulaanbaatar punches right back. No quit in either of these teams, actually. Mané, no space. Fofana goes at that right hook yet again. This time it's off the mark. Pushing foul in the rebound. And I do believe that is number 7 on Orléans. So 2 free throws coming up for Mongolian ladies. And Arjun Setseg steps up to the stripe. Again, leading scorer for this Ulaanbaatar squad. Drains the first one. Hit her only free throw in pool play. And Adin Setseg makes it a 2-point lead, largest lead of the game for the ladies from Mongolia. Servinu looking to change that, does just so. Another tie. It's 11-11. A minute left to go in this quarterfinal game. Who will advance? Adin Setseg, a drive, tries to go at Brochant, takes way too long. That is a shot clock violation. Batgirl opted out of the shot, but had no shot clock awareness. So a fresh 12 seconds for Orléans. 56 seconds on the clock. Every action matters at this stage. Brochant, easy look. Good play by the French. Kulan somehow gets past Manet with the scoop shot. That's Harry Potter magical. Brochant, 2 ball off the mark. Rebound with Kulan. Screen and roll action into Adin Setseg, who releases the shot and somehow gets it to go down 13-12. What a game. Manet now. No. Fofana, though, with the rebound. It ends up with Manet. She ties the game up at 13. 10 seconds on the clock. Nanda with 5 to go. Nanda to the basket. Nandamonium with the game winner for Ulaanbaatar yet again. Nandinku Sel Nyamjav, just like we saw her do in the pool play against Bond Baskets, finishes up the game with that righty lay. The 18-year-old gets her team a victory, and Ulaanbaatar will advance in the tournament into the semifinals. A tough game for both these teams, but it was Nanda down the stretch. And Ulaanbaatar squeezed by 14-13 over Orléans. Y'all enjoy the highlights, and we'll be right back with the next quarterfinal. That will be Japan and the Philippines. We'll be with you in just a few minutes with that game. But first, we got to check out the highlights from this one.
Terima kasih untuk semua sponsor yang sudah mendukung FIBA 3x3 Jakarta 2025 by Inas Pro yang didukung penuh oleh Kemenpora dan juga DPP Permasi, Simpati Water by PNI, MS Grow Formen, Emilia Madu Enak, Aqua Duraka, Bali Fiber, Red Bull House, Project Hospital, Bebas Cedera, Free Fire, Kopi Kenangan, Sambal Bakar Jajaran, Sekeliling dan juga seluruh yang sudah mendukung persenggaranya Inas Pro 3x3 Jakarta 2025.
highlights, but enough highlights in the game to go by. We got Japan and the Philippines on deck next. And Aya Tsurumi to the court first. Japan played 4 games yesterday. Won all 4 of them. They beat Romania and Puerto Rico in the QD, then Christchurch and Singapore in Pool D action. And Miyashita, third in player value, scored the ball at a high clip, made sure she rebounded as well. Leads the team in scoring together with Ai Katsura. And they're joined by Takahashi, who has not been on fire yet. 1 of 7 from range for Miku Takahashi, but she's at 6.5 rebounds per game. And this Japan team, with their pace and their style, they are dangerous. They're going to have to face the Philippines, who, well, they lost to Australia, and they beat Jakarta 21-8 to get here. And Pingle, of course, top 3 in highlights, as expected. But it was Cacho who was actually the star of the show. Mika Cacho at 7 points per game. But she needs some help. She dropped 11 and 5 to beat Jakarta. Second score on the team is at 3 points per. And their shooting has been horrible. They're a team that lives by the 2, and they are 1 of 25 from range. For you quick math heads out there, that is 4%. 4% from 2. That is unlike what we usually see from this Filipina squad. And we'll see if they can turn things around here in the quarterfinals. A good shooting performance for them will go a long way towards maybe making the semis. And for them to make the semis, that would be the first time all year. Have not gotten out of the quarterfinals in 5 events played so far. 2 quarterfinal runs in Marseille and Bucharest. They're 11th in the standings on the Women's Series season and looking to improve. Looking to get to that Women's Series final in Shanghai in September. As is Japan, by the way. So these two teams will 10-minute sprint it out to see who will face the Ulaanbaatar Amazons. And it's the Philippines who start off with the rock. Pingle. And that's an easy bucket. Katsura down in the post, fades, shots off the mark. Pingle grabs the board. Kasho doing what she did yesterday, driving to the basket, putting her head down, getting her team some buckets. This time it's Ferrer cleaning up the mess. And the Philippines out to a good start here, 2-0. They foul Tsurumi on the play. But they've come out with the right amount of aggression. And we know they have the driving ability. Can they supplement that with some outside shooting? Can Takahashi supplement Japan with some outside shooting? So far, not yet. Pingle to Ferrer. They get it to Pana. Pana lobs it up to Ferrer. What a play. The vision, the touch. Beautiful execution by the Philippines. Up 3-zip as a result. They've blitzed Japan here in the first minute. Miyashita. Tsurumi, who leads the Japanese team in key assists with 5. And this action took too long to develop. Too many missed cuts. Couldn't really squeeze the Wilson. So a 12-second violation on Japan. Good defense on the Philippines. Will get the rock back. And they get it to Kasho. Kasho behind the back. No space for a shot. So Pana opts for 2, and that has not been successful. Chases down the ball, though. Kasho, rock in hand. Kasho to the cup. Bodies flying everywhere. And a whistle on the floor. Pingle. Pingle with the speed, gets by everyone, flips it backward. It's over the rim. Tsurimi grabs it. Katsura open for two and drains it. Japan right back in the game, 3-2. Minute and a half in. Kasho looking to screen for Pingle. Pingle, that is a double dribble. Wanted to pass, grabbed that ball, and then didn't have an option. Even magicians run out of magic sometimes, Pingle. Katsura to the rack is stopped. Good defense by Pana, who kept her hands up. Discipline. Pana now by herself. Katsura just fell asleep. Hounding defense there by the Philippines, who are being very aggressive to the Japan squad, and it's working. Look at the shots Japan has to take to even try to get a look at the basket. Credits to the Philippines defense so far in this game. How long can they keep this up in the sweltering heat out here in Jakarta? Screening action, Kasho. That is an offensive foul.
Ball on blue.
And a warning extended now to the Philippines. That check not executed correctly. Takahashi to Miyashita with a two-handed jumper, and that is out of bounds. Ferrer, who is usually the leading scorer on this Philippine squad, it's been a bit quiet in this tournament so far. You usually see her right around 5 points per. And in this tournament, she's at 2.5. So Philippines, they got some stuff to unlock. The two-ball, Ferrer, Pana as well, who's a 25% two-ball shooter and has not hit any. But so far, they've leaned on their defense. Now Tsurumi's struggling to create some space with the bump and no bucket, but she does get the rebound. Miyashita from the mid-range then, also a no. Here's Katsura cleaning up the mess. Great backdoor cut and finish. Katsura can't answer. Ferrer fouled on the rebound. First TV timeout, and it's been the Philippines that have been the aggressors in this one. They've really tried to put it to Japan, mainly defensively. And the two-ball not happening for either team. Katsura got one, and that is about it. Philippines has been stronger driving to the basket and getting looks close to the rim through cuts and moves. And they're going to have to continue that if they want to win. Again, both these teams want to get to that semifinal. Japan has not gotten out of the quarterfinals this year either. In their only event, Ulaanbaatar, they placed 8th. So there will be a first for both these teams in 2025. Stop number 9 of 15 confirmed stops as Kasho. Physicality of Kasho on the drives is incredible. Katsura forced a foul. So a free throw coming up for Mika Kasho. But anyway, 15 stops confirmed this year on the Women's Series with a final event in Shanghai in September. This is stop number 9. So all the points you can get on the Women's Series standings, they'll help. Philippines, again, just outside the top 10. Tsurumi. Another one of those difficult looks with defense draped all over her. Pingle slicing through the defense. Kasho grabs the board, bumps, no hit. And then a foul on the rebound as Takahashi got there first.
Under 6 minutes remaining. Philippines, 5 points. Japan, 3 points.
Here's Kasho running into Takahashi. Japan with a fresh 12. Miyashita with the hesitation, but the makes not happening for either team, actually. Pingle loses to Wilson. It's out of bounds. But just like we saw in that first quarterfinal action, scores have been low here today. Of course, we're playing outside, so it's the elements that make things difficult. It might also be the fact that, well, Japan played 4 games yesterday. It might be a little bit tired. Tsurumi off the mark. Ferrer hasn't gotten involved yet. That 2 ball doesn't make that happen either. And then Miyashita's fouled underneath the basket. Ferrer with the physicality. That is foul number 6 on the Philippines. That means they're going to have to be careful the rest of the way. Next defensive foul will mean 2 free throws for Japan. As you can see, the sun is beaming from behind that basket. It is difficult to get a shot up. Kasho working on Tsurumi. That is a foul and a point. Mika Kasho continuing to assert her authority with the spin move off the glass and a free throw to boot. Third foul on Japan. It's a 6-3 score. Kasho can't make that 7. Possession over to White. Mid-range jumper, Miyashita goes down. Gets to her spots. Now Pingle trying to answer for the Philippines. And that shot is long. Neither team having a clear advantage here. Outside of maybe the foul situation for the Philippines, that's not in their favor. A lot of movement there for Miyashita, but that's out of bounds. That leaves 0.2 seconds on the shot clock, which is extremely difficult to get a shot up. And no option there. So a shot clock violation. Philippines get another stop. And they'll continue the action with the fresh possession. Takahashi can't tag it from distance. Hana with the step back, wild shot off the mark as well. So neither team can get the 2 ball going at all. Double team on Katsura, but a foul will mean Ai Katsura will step to the line for 2. Pana came flying in and smacked the Wilson out, but leaned on Katsura's back. So 2 free throws coming up for Japan. And Katsura calmly knocks it down with an option now to tie the game at 6. Ferrer with the pass in a Pingle, but Pingle can't finish. Actually gets the rebound. Ferrer also can't finish. Both teams fighting to get possession of the Wilson here. It's Miyashita who comes away with it, a kick out. Wide open look there for Tsurumi, but and again, no make. And the missing continues. Now it's a foul on Japan in the rebound. We're under 4 minutes, so our second TV timeout in a very low-scoring affair. A 6-6 game. Neither team able to hit the twos. Neither team able to create consistent offense. And it's been individual creation that has gotten some buckets with Kasho here with the and one. Great pick and roll action for Japan. They finally get a bucket from Miyashita. Kasho answers for the Philippines right away. 8-7. And then a steal, Ferrer, and is fouled on the play. Ferrer with the good hands. Not impacting scoring all that much in this one. So why not play some defense? Get some deflections. Referees are checking some stuff out. We got just over 3 minutes left. Ferrer now to the basket, locked up. No call on the play. Good defense by Takahashi. Managed to get her hands on the Wilson. That leaves 3.9 for Kasho to work with. Mika Kasho pulls up a wild look from two. Off balance shot. Takahashi now to the flotation device. That belongs in a kiddie pool somewhere. 8-8. Kasho. No answer on the make, but a free throw coming up for Mika Kasho. Difficulty with this Philippines team is you never know where it's coming from. It could be Pana shooting from two, Pingle creating, Kasho driving at the basket, Ferrer as well. Kasho, though, doesn't make the free throw. Can't break the tie. And now a foul off ball, but that's an expensive one. Philippines with their 8th foul. 2 free throws coming up for White. And it's Tsurumi stepping up to the plate. And Tsurumi accurate on the first. Second, also good. So a 2-point lead for Japan all of a sudden. 2:35 to go. Kasho with all the moves, but loses the ball going up. Miyashita's got it. Japan moving around quickly. Difficult drive from Tsurumi, but another foul. Pingle can't believe it. Tsurumi here. Getting by Pingle, getting in position. And now in position to get Japan a big, big lead here. 11-8 in a low-scoring game. That, again, is not insurmountable, but it's a big lead. Second one good as well. So Japan get the reins in hand. Pingle, separation, gets the 2 to go, well, not down, but up. And now Japan run into trouble. 7th foul on Japan. too physical on the box out here as Ferrer relentlessly crashes the boards. She gets 2 free throws. And Ferrer, good on the first. Four points for Ferrer, make that 5 in this game. Back to a 1-possession game we go. 2 minutes on the clock. Takahashi, no. Tsurumi, though, has been controlling the board. Shortest lady out there, but she's grabbing every rebound right now. Katsura, a look. Another rebound by Tsurumi. And finally, Miku Takahashi dials it up from range. 5G certified, 14-10. Pingle stuck. Wow, somehow gets through, but misses the layup. And then Katsura. And out of bounds on the rebound attempt. Timeout on the floor. Just under a minute and 30 seconds to go. Japan has really picked up that momentum over the last couple of minutes here. They got a 4-point lead as a result, mainly due to the foul situation. And this shot by Miku Takahashi, who had been off the mark all tournament, but comes through at a big moment. Takahashi, a very capable shooter, just hadn't been able to make much this tournament. Katsura will stay on the bench for Japan. They go with Tsurumi, Takahashi, and Miyashita. Kasho, can she bring her team back? Gives it up to Pana. Pana, 3 on the shot clock. Pana with a strong drive. Tsurumi with the separation, and that 2-ball goes down as well. So Japan unlocked a shot at an opportune time here. A minute to go, 5-point lead, team in white. Philippines need something here. Bana, yes! Bana gets one to go down as well. 16-13. Miyashita looking to create. Mid-range pull-up for Miyashita. Good defense on the Philippines. Under 40 seconds. Kasho with the rock. They get it to Pana. She just hit one from that spot. Falling away, and she hits a second one. Unconscious from Alexis Pana, who has been cold all tournament. And hits 2 fadeaway twos to bring her team back within 1 with 25 on the clock. What an incredible shooting display here in the last few minutes. Pana gets to the rack first. Easy lays. Then we see Tsurumi with the separation. Draining one, and then Pana off balance. Hadn't hit it 2, and just drains one. Calmly, 16-15, Japan possession here. Katsura spins, flips it backwards, no. The Philippines have the rebound. Pingle with some separation. Shot off the mark, under 10 seconds to go. Philippines can't foul because they're at 9 fouls. Tsurumi, Philippines have to do something here. Japan's just going to dribble out the clock, and they do. And Tsurumi, well, that don't count. 10th foul on the Philippines. So they stopped the clock, but it doesn't matter because it's a double bonus. So that means Japan's going to get 2 free throws as well as possession back. Yeah, so this foul is not going to amount to much. So the Philippines, even though they fought back valiantly, they get themselves in position, but the shot for game for Pingle did not go down. And Katsura makes it a 2-point Japan lead here. 1.3 seconds on the clock. Katsura could make it a 2-possession game. Does that. So Japan almost untouchable. Philippines, if anything, need a steal, a shot, and a foul on the shot, and a shot to go down. That would be magic. They are not contesting here. Japan will move into their first semifinal action of 2025 with a gutsy win over the Philippines. Offense was tough to come by, but they unlocked it down the stretch, put a lot of pressure on the Philippine defense. The foul situation was in their favor, and they get a W here and will play against the Ulaanbaatar Amazons for a spot in the finals coming up later today. Japan, your victors, 18-15. So we'll move into our next game pretty soon here. That is Australia and Singapore coming up next, but look at some of the highlights in this one first.
Next game, we have Team Australia.
Quarterfinal number 3 on deck. It's Australia and Singapore. The Aussies out first, and the Gangaroos have been gangarooing. They were good on day one. 2 victories in Pool B, dominant performance as well. Shot the 2-ball well, 5 of 13, so low volume, but 38% on 2s. 1s were a little bit of a different story. They missed a ton of wide open looks. They did get a ton of rebounds, though. Marina Whittle and Emily Maley, 1 and 2 in rebounding in the field. 27 rebounds per game for the Aussies. Hannah Hank, a welcome addition. She leads them in scoring. I think her physicality to her screening has really changed the offensive dynamic here. And the Gangaroos look dangerous. Playing a little bit slower than usual, I'd say. Deliberate. And I like it. But anyway, Singapore is up next. They're 1-1 after a loss to Japan and a win over Christchurch. That gets them here. And Jermaine, who came out first, is special. Special. Leading scorer in the tournament, 16 points. Leads the field in player value. Leads the field in highlights. Shoots a 2 at a 42% clip. And she is the, well, not the sole reason, but the main reason Singapore is out here in the quarterfinals. She is joined by her teammates, Denise, Matilda, and Choi Ting. And Singapore, they got a tall task ahead of them. So the Gangaroos, again, lead the field in rebounding. Singapore, not the best rebounding team in the field. So the battle of the boards is going to be important. Also, who can get their action going? The Aussies, they want to get to the basket. They run a ton of seals with Hank. They run some ball screen action as well. And Singapore, I like their movement a lot. Jermaine can create shots for everyone, but the other players contribute as well. We'll see if they can match up with the physicality for the Aussies, though. It is going to be difficult. Singapore starts out possession here. Jermaine lets the two fly right away. That two balls eluded a lot of teams and players today, so let's see if that affects the leading scorer in the tournament. Jermaine doesn't think about it twice, drives to the basket. Singapore up one. And Aussie ball. Bailey to the basket, right hand hook. And Whittle gets called for physicality in the rebound. Throw Jermaine to the side. First foul on the team in green. Possession back over to Singapore. Ball screen action. Jermaine on the move again. This time a right hand scoop, and she's just an offensive weapon. The 1, the 2, she got everything going. An offensive foul then on the Aussies. So the Kangaroos try to start the game being physical. And referees are not having any of that. And here's Whittle moving some furniture. Denise can't make it. Quick turnaround. There is Hank under the basket. That's worked all tournament. She plays with poise and physicality. That is a wild shot. Ball back over to the Kangaroos, and again Hank is open. You'll see spurts of this Australian team where their sole source of offense is the seals that Hannah Hank provides. And it is a high percentage look, let me tell you. Especially against this slightly undersized Singapore team. Soa on the cut. Beautiful play design by the Aussies. 2-2 as a result. Jermaine looks into the sun, can't squeeze the 2 ball. Whittle. Marina Whittle. Mentioned this plenty of times in the past. Once she puts her head down and gets to the basket, there is absolutely no stopping her. And I think the same thing might go for Jermaine, although she stops herself here with the miss. Hank open again, catches, 3 in the key. So Hank will take a seat. Jermaine again, the scoops off the mark though. After 2 makes to start the game, she just missed a couple. Mailey, the quick transition for the Aussies, and that's an easy layup. No one home for that. Jermaine from the Enlio logo. Opportunistic 2 ball, not going down so far. Whittle with the strength, the take, and the make. And Marina Whittle will get a trip to the free throw stripe as well after taking the bump here and finishing up the play. Jermaine pick and roll action. It's broken up. Choi Ting was on her way to a bucket, but foul on the Aussies. Fresh 12 for Singapore. We're looking at a 4-point deficit here after a little over 2 minutes of play. Jermaine. Denise. Jermaine, while she hits the 2 at a high clip, the rest of the Singapore squad hadn't hit it 2 at all. And that trend continues. So, easy layup.
7-2.
Not just a shooter, so a very capable driver. Matilda. And a shot clock violation. So the Aussies clamp down on defense. Their offense has been very solid. And they've come out more furious than Don Toretto. So again, Midi. That one drained. It's a 6-point lead for the Gangaroos, who are running away with this game early. Whittle clamps down. And then Hank's wide open, and Singapore forced a foul. Whittle. Screening action. Melee is open. Whittle opts to take it herself. Fading away, but no good. There's one of those rebounds that we talked about. And another one. So the Gangaroos, the best offensive rebounding team in the field as well, besides just being the best rebounding team in the field. They will clean up the mess for each other time and time again. And we've gotten to our first TV timeout with a bit of a blowout starting to take shape here. Gangaroos are getting whatever they want. Drives to the basket, scores from Soa, from Hank, rebounds as well, and a 7-point lead as a result. They're living in the paint. And Singapore's in trouble because of it. Aussie possession here. They go down to Hank yet again, a mismatch. Hank muscles one up, is fouled on the play. Hannah Hank's been on the block like she's playing Minecraft. No room for a shot there. Jermaine stuck in the corner. She gets it over to Denise. And that is wildly undershot. So Singapore were not going to keep up in physicality and size. They need some twos to stick with the Aussies, and that has not happened at all. Hank again under the basket, and they continue to pour it on. Turnover now. Quick pass into Hank. Loses to Wilson. Singapore. Matilda on the move. And Hank told her to get back. Crossover. But Hank, 5 fingers to the ball. Smack. Jermaine has been off the mark from range. Screening action. Whittle steps out, pick and pop for the Aussies. And another offensive rebound and another score for the Gangaroos. Singapore running out of options here as we approach the halfway mark. A 10-point deficit for them. Third quarterfinal berth for them after Chengdu and Vienna out of their 5 events played, including this one so far. But if they can't turn it around, that will remain the third quarterfinal. They'll not get to their first semifinals because the Aussies are just taking them apart right now. Choi Ting's shaking her head like, what can I do about that? I can't do anything. Hank again in position, shares with Soa. Sharon is Karen. And Soa drains the right-hand leg. Jermaine does something back for Singapore. Finally a two-point shot, then a deflection as well. Soa from the logo. No, Hank's there to clean it up. Then Whittle's there to clean it up. Then Hank's there to clean it up again. They just keep rebounding. 14-4.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Ball green.
Oh, good hands by Whittle. Now she opts for a drive, and that's a layup as well. It is a layup line for the Aussies. Singapore cannot do anything with their physicality. Jermaine looking for the 5th point, a long one. And the rebound track down. Now it's Jermaine at the basket. Singapore gets to 5, still a 10-point deficit. Now it's Meili on the block.
Terima kasih untuk our global sponsor Wilson Gear Ulaanbaatar Amazon dan Raken. Dan sekali lagi jangan lupa posting semua keseruannya di sosial media F3x3 JKT.
So TV timeout and the big Kangaroos lead. They're going to look to close the game out before the time's over. 16-5. Soa now lines up a 2. Hank's open. Let's call that a pass.
17-5, Australian lead.
Jermaine moving sideways. Hank breaks up the play. Whittle hangs, can't hit this time. It's Singapore with the rebound. Aussies foul.
Ball green. Australia has 16 fouls.
Choi Ting, offensive foul.
Offensive foul. On one.
Soa. Soa takes it herself this time. Righty scoops good. And the Aussies move closer to that 21-point mark. Jermaine bumped off of her spot. That'll be 2 free throws coming up for Singapore.
Singapore gets 2 free throws.
Jermaine's got all 5 of Singapore's points, make that all 6 of Singapore's 6 points in the game. Gets her total to 7. But a quick turnaround for the Aussies. Whittle misses the 2.
Under 3 minutes remaining.
Nope. Hank sends that back yet again. Patrolling the paint. Hank will take a seat.
White ball.
And it's Singapore ball.
2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
Locked up by Melee. That is a jump ball situation. Jump ball, of course, will be awarded to the defense. Kangaroos back to it. High post action for them. Hank back on the court. They go to the pick and roll right away. Jermaine. Singapore's sole source of offense, but it also isn't consistent enough at this point. And now Hank's fouled.
Ball on line.
2 free throws coming up.
The shooter gets 2 free throws.
One make for Hank will get the Aussies to 19. Second one down as well. Jermaine drives baseline, forgets to make the layup. The Kangaroos with game point here. Soa, rocking hands. Soa to the cup. Soa with the lefty scoop. And the Aussies are in the semifinals after a 21-7 beatdown of Singapore. Jermaine scored all 7 points, but Singapore could not bring enough. Gang, gang, 21-7.
Selamat sore and welcome back to FIBA 3x3 Jakarta 2025 by Inaspro. Thank you untuk semua dukungannya dan terima kasih juga pastinya untuk dukungan penuh dari Kemenpora, dan terima kasih juga untuk semua sponsor yang sudah mendukung Inaspro 3x3 Jakarta 2025. Ada Simpati Wonder by BNI, MS Glow Beauty, MS Glow for Men, Anesthesia, Madu Enak, Aqua Dona Bali Fiber, Full Cup, Raja Hospital Bebas Cedera, Free Fire, lalu juga mobil kenangan sang Ulaanbaatar Indonesia, jajaran sekali.
Up next, Team Thailand versus Team Spain. First up, Team Thailand.
We got one more quarterfinals to go, and it's the Thai ladies coming out to play Spain. Thailand, 4 wins on day 1, 2 victories in the qualifying draw. Mongolia, and then the US of A. And it was this lady, Nachakorn Udomsuk, who single-handedly took down that superpower in basketball with 14 points. Then they went into the main draw and beat Ulaanbaatar and Bonn Baskets in overtime for 2 victories. Kunchan was nice as well. She had 11 points in those pool play games. Udomsuk with 15 points in those 2 pool play games. They're joined by Rungrian and Bunsin Prom. And Thailand come in here with some momentum, 2-0. They are facing a team with a slightly awkward path here. Spain, they lost to Orléans yesterday. And then they were supposed to be playing Uganda, but Uganda couldn't make it to the game due to some visa issues. So they come here based off of a loss and then a forfeit win. But anyway, we know Spain very well. Olympic bronze, silver medal winners Sandra Igaravide and Juana Camilion, as well as Gracia Alonso de Arminio, are joined by Alba Prieto. A very good squad, of course, but couldn't muster enough against that Orléans defense. Their offense was slightly sluggish, just a little bit, without Vega Jimeno here. We'll see if they can improve on that here against Thailand, a country they have not faced before. Actually, never mind, they have. In the 3x3 Champions Cup in pool play. That was a victory for Spain, though. So we are about to go sprinting into quarterfinals for the very last time. Last of 4 games. Then we get a short break, then we head straight into the semifinals. Whoever wins here will have to face off with Australia. Loser, of course, is just on a earlier vacation out here in Indonesia. Rungrian. No space for a drive. Stuck, has to flip a shot up. Good defense by Spain to start the game. Sandra, pick and roll action down below to Camilion, who puts Spain on the board first. Udomsuk gets her cookies taken. There's Camilion again. Spain off to the races. High pace of game to start. Kunchan, a 3-second back to the basket violation. So it took a little bit too long. You can only dribble with your back to the basket for less than 3 seconds, of course. Backdoor cut, beautiful feed from Kunchan to Udomsuk. And that's better than Chiang Mai noodles. Midi pull-ups off the mark. Prieto chase sit down. Prieto lines up a 2. That toilet bowls in. 4-1 lead Spain. And another turnover on Thailand. Prieto this time opts for a drive, but look at Kunchan with the quick hands. Forcing a tie up, actually. And in case of a jump ball situation, of course, defense will get possession. Team White here with a fresh 12. Bunsin Prom. No. Larena setting the table. And Igaravide, who didn't shoot it well yesterday, still off the mark. Sandra did lead the squad at 4 points per game, but 0 for 7 on twos. unlike her. An errant pass from Rungrian will end up in the hands of Igedavide. And Alonso de Arminio there to put that back. 6-1 Spain. Come out with a tight game plan. Udomsuk has been quiet in this one so far. Gets her first point. So Ratchakorn Udomsuk on the board. It's 2 points for Thailand. They're going to need a lot more from her if they want to stick with this Spain offense. Igedavide with the handoff. Prieto. Out of time. A little too late. But Prieto apparently was fouled in the process. So a chip to the free throw stripe for Alba. Kunchan on the block. That's worked. Now it's Prieto who lines up another two and drains the shot again. So Alba Prieto's got her fingerprints all over this game. First possession here for Thailand. Looking to change the narrative. They need some buckets here to stick with Spain. Rungrian, no space, Udomsuk. Udomsuk stuck, gets it back out to her teammate, and Rungrian does not reward that. Gets it back to Udomsuk though. Ball sticks with the Thai ladies. Oh, good hands by Gracia Alonso de Arminio. Alonso de Arminio with the board. Spain swing it. Igedavide. And the drought continues, but Spain does get the rebound. 8 on the shot clock. Igedavide steps through. That layup's good. Double figures for Spain here, just under the 6-minute mark. A 10-4 lead. And Thailand looking for answers. That might help. Bunsen Prom wide open. Spain was asleep on that possession. Now it's Igedavide stepping sideways. That 2-ball still not going. You can see the frustration with Sandra. Those are shots she usually hits, but all of her 2-point attempts are just short. Udom-Suk. Kunchan lines up a 2. Back iron. Prieto down to Gracia. Gracia, no, but is fouled. Free throw, knocked down. 11-5. Kunchan tries to get it to Udom-Suk. Udom-Suk almost loses it. Steps into a 2-ball. No call on the play. And that is out of bounds. Igedavide continues the misses. Won't matter if Spain remains up. But I'm sure she's going to want to hit one at some point. We are under 5 minutes in his last quarterfinal action from Jakarta. Bit of a slow burner, this one. Spain raced out to an early lead. Thailand looking to fight back. They cannot get their leading scorer, Ratchakorn Udom-Suk, position to get some easy looks. Meanwhile, Spain continue to score. And in this case, rack up fouls. Prieto. Easy pick and roll action with Gracia. Sneaks by the defender, gets the layup to go down 12-5. Does Thailand have any answers left? Kunchan, that does not go. Prieto, that was slightly opportunistic. Undershot. And now Kunchan's tripped up. Holding on to her knee. Oh, knee to knee. Yes, that will hurt. Ouch. Corner 2-ball attempt off the mark. There's Bunsen prompt to clean up the mess. So Thailand, give them some credit. They stick around. They keep fighting. They are giving up an open look to Chameleon here, but they are scrapping. They are clawing. It's just offensively not been enough. Let's see if Udom-Suk can change that. That 2 balls off the mark, but she's fouled on the play. So Ratchakorn Udom-Suk on the stripe for 2. Spain at 6 fouls. This might help Thailand out a bunch. It can bring the game back to 2 possessions. Got some highlights from the previous game showing up. So 3:38 left to go. Spain, even though they're up, has not looked extremely convincing. Thailand has not mustered up enough offense to stick with them at all. And Ulaanbaatar might change that narrative from the free throw stripe. And she does just that, brings it back to a 2-possession game. Prieto moving behind the screen. Down to Ulaanbaatar with the fadeaway from the mid-range. Off the top of the backboard, really? What a shot from Ulaanbaatar. And then she blocks Rungrian. So the 40-year-old showing some signs of life here after a rough start to the game, especially from 2. Beautiful pass, but not enough on it. Bunsen Prom couldn't finish. Ulaanbaatar will take a seat with her team in a 5-point advantage here. Camilleon trying to feed it into Alonso de Arminio with the right hook off the glass. Back to a 6-point lead for Spain. Largest lead of the game. Tough possession from Thailand, but Bunsen Prom finishes it up. Gracia. Kunchan can't get the 2 to go. Give and go action for the Spaniards don't work. Ulaanbaatar fading away. That'll be a shot clock violation. We are approaching the 2-minute mark. And this game has been all Spain so far. Kunchan fading on the 2. Difficult shot. Hand in her face. No way. Quick pass into Gracia. Give and go action with Ulaanbaatar. That is just a thing of beauty. This Spain team's got more chemistry than a test tube. So Thailand want to talk it over. They're facing a 6-point deficit. Looking to advance out of the quarterfinals for the first time in this year. Their best result so far in the women's series, a runners-up finish in Wuhan last year. Pass is snuffed out. Ulaanbaatar looking for space. A step back 2 from Ulaanbaatar, and it's just off the mark. This has been the case for Thailand all game. Prieto down to Arminio. That has worked wonderfully. Gracia Alonso de Arminio, the leading scorer for Spain in this one.
1 minute and 17 seconds remaining. Spain with 16 points, Thailand 9.
Prieto. By herself, no one home on that layup. And Spain in the driver's seat here. Bunsen Prom can't change that. 17-9 in favor of Spain. Are looking to continue their dominant streak on the Women's Series this year. All the events they've played, they've won. And it's looking like they're at least putting themselves in position to do that same thing here with a trip to the semifinals after this victory.
42 seconds left.
Only 42 seconds left to go in this one. Prieto fading on the 2 ball. That's out of bounds. Camilion, the 2 balls, evades her, but Alonso Arminio there to clean it up. 19-9 to score. Under 20 seconds. Udom Suk's been quiet in this game. Udom Suk, well, she gets a layup to go. It's a little bit too late for a scoring burst here as we are under 10 seconds, and Spain is going to take this one. Can Igaravi get a 2 to go down? No. Still no. And that 2 ball from Udom Suk will end the game. Spain will take this one 19-12 over Thailand. Thailand, a well-played tournament, just not enough here. Maybe some fatigue from those 4 games yesterday. But they leave this one out there to Spain, who will meet up with Australia in the semifinals after this victory over Thailand. Y'all enjoy the highlights. We're going to take a short break. And just a few minutes, we'll start the semifinals action. That is slated to start at 6 p.m. local time, so 15 minutes from now. Don't go anywhere.
Music is on, is playing, you have to dance. And when ya. Jadi permainannya ini namanya get the ball. Kalau misalnya musiknya ini berjalan, musiknya ada, kamu nanti harus goyang. Tapi ketika musiknya berhenti, ini kamu harus ambil bolanya. Mengerti? Pas dadadang. Siap? Oke, kita bisa mulai? Kita bisa mulai? Oke, ready ya? Kasih tepuk tangan dulu boleh untuk adik-adik kita. Ini adalah calon pemain 3x3 masa depan dari Jepang dan Indonesia. Oke, 3, 2, 1, go! Jangan lupa nanti di posting ya. Tag-nya kemana mas? Udah tahu belum? Iya, tapi udah keren. Namanya siapa? Irawan sama? Hah? Yanda. Oke. Kalau gitu kita kasih 3 kali kesempatan. Siapa yang masuk 2 itu yang menang. Jadi harus masuk 2, oke? 3 kali. Oh, mau berapa? Mas, mau ikut pertandingan kalau kayak gitu, kalau banyak-banyak ya. Oke, 3, 2, bentar. Siapa duluan? Tadi siapa dulu? Oh, bebas. Sweet aja. Lemparnya dari sini mas. Kebetulan kalau dari Plaza Senayan terlalu jauh, nggak nyampe di sini ya mas ya. Dari sini nih, dari sini. Namanya 2 mas, 2. Oh dari sini 1 mas, oke? Yuk semangat yuk, belum ngopi ya? Belum, jajan kopi kenangan nanti, tos dulu. Oke, yuk mulai. Siapa dulu? Kamu dulu ya. Yuk, 3, 2, 1. Kesempatan pertama. Gagal. 1, kesempatan terakhir. Yeay. Beban belum dong. Siapa tahu mau masuk 3-3-nya. Jangan menyerah dulu. Tunjukkan daya juangnya. Oke. Bener mas. Yang kedua. Terakhir. Terima kasih banyak. Kamu kayaknya belum makan ya? Datang ke sini udah makan belum? Abis dari sini boleh loh ke jajaran sekeliling. Di sana banyak banget makanan, minuman yang bisa dicoba. Terima kasih dapat hadiahnya. Nanti jangan lupa video yang udah diambil sama teman saya ini diposting ya. Terima kasih. Lanjut, ada yang mau coba? Saya kasih kesempatan, siapa yang mau coba? Ayo, 1, 2, 3. Gak apa-apa ya, kita coba sedikit aja. Oh dari sini aja. Saya kasih kesempatannya buat ngobrol-ngobrol dulu kalau gitu. Saya tanya aja, sekarang kita mau masuk ke semifinal. Semifinal, teman saya yang sebelah sana. Semifinal nih kita punya 4 tim terbaik. Oke, kamu dukung mana?
Spanyol.
Ini Spanyol. Coach Eva? Spanyol dong. Pasti jadi Spanyol. Kenapa Spanyol? Coba ngomongnya agak keras. Ya udah sini apa?
Karena ada pavilion.
Oke, jadi sengaja nonton datang ke sini buat dukung Spanyol. Duduknya mana? Jadi kan dukung Spanyol juga. Duduknya di Coach Eva. Sama-sama. Oke, terima kasih banyak. Kita akan langsung masuk ke semifinal. Tapi sebelumnya saya juga mengucapkan terima kasih banyak untuk para sponsor yang sudah mendukung FIBA 3x3 Jakarta 2025 by Inas Pro yang didukung penuh oleh Kemenpora. Terima kasih juga untuk para sponsor yang sudah mendukung semuanya. Ini banyak banget sponsornya. Terima kasih. Dan kita masih akan ada pertandingan hari ini di Inas Pro 3x3 Jakarta 2025.
All right, moving on to the next game right now. Up next, the Ulaanbaatar Amazon versus Team Japan. First up, Team Ulaanbaatar Amazon.
We went from 16 teams yesterday down to 12, down to 8 earlier today. Now we are down to 4. fighting for that bag of money at the end of the rainbow here in Jakarta, and it's the Ulaanbaatar Amazons out first. They took care of Orléans in a 14-13 nail-biter. It was Nanda Nadinku Sonyamjab with the game-winning layup. She's joined by Ulaanbaatar, Bolaridine Batsoy, and Ariun Tsetsek Bat-Erdine, who continued her brilliant display of offensive effort here. 8 points, 9 boards in that game. And Batgirl is all that out here in Indonesia. Ariun Tsetsek, the co-leading scorer in the tournament. Second in player value as well, but they're facing off with a dangerous Japan team. Japan, who took care of the Philippines 18-15. Miku Takahashi finally got a 2-ball to go down at the end of that game. She's joined by Kiyo Miyashita, Ayo Katsura, and Aya Tsurumi, who led them in rebounds in that game. Tsurumi might be the shortest woman in the entire tournament. She had 14 rebounds. 14! 6 points, 14 rebounds for Tsurumi in a brilliant display. And Japan, the better because of it. They are now top 4 here. That is the first time for them. Ulaanbaatar's been in the semifinals twice earlier this year. So they have some experience. Have not made it out of the semifinals in the women's series. So far, 3rd in Chengdu, 3rd in Marseille, and 7th in Ulaanbaatar. But again, a 3rd trip into the top 4 for them. Could be a first finals run for them on the women's series, but look, Japan is no small feat, no small team to beat. They find ways to get it done. Japan will get the first possession as the sun has set out here in Timur Park. And we are nearing the end of this women's series. We got 3 10-minute sprints left. First one starting right now. Tsurumi, no. Kulan and Nadinku Sel, they shared with Ariun Tsetsek, who just seems to be in the right spot at the right time every time. Tsurumi, no. Ulaanbaatar with the first score, the first punch. There's Katsura open for 2. With the sun down now, shooting might become slightly easier, as the shots for almost all teams haven't been falling all day long. Nanda continues to trend. There's Miyashita stepping through, righty scoop, and ices that layup. Bolaridine on the court. They get it to Ariun Tsetsek again. Her ascension is real. 2-1. Batgirl gets her team ahead. Bolaridine with the board. Back to Ariun Tsetsek. Kulan, who was a little quiet in that quarterfinals, drops in a long-range shot. Ulaanbaatar up 4-1 early. Takahashi breaks up the play. And Miyashita, stuck on the baseline, somehow squeezes through. Ariun Tsetsek, the height advantage is there, but she cannot convert the layup. heave at the end of the shot clock is off the mark. High post action for the Amazons. And a whistle on the floor. That is the first foul in Japan. The growth we see every tournament from Nanda Nadinkusel Nyamjav, Nandamonium, has been real. Japan tied up at 4. But the Amazons have turned over large parts of their offense to the young Nadinkusel. In her first Women's Series event earlier in the year, she still looked a little bit shaky. But she's taken tremendous steps as the year has gone along. Of course, it helps if you win a silver medal at the World Cup in your home city. Arjen Setseg with a step too many.
Minutes and 25 seconds remaining. Score 4-all.
Katsura down to Miyashita. Miyashita working on the block. That right scoop has been good alternative, but Kulan's found the range in this one. Foot on the line for Miyashita. That 2 will count. Looked like it was a 1, but again, I couldn't see from this angle. Nadinkusel on the drive. Right scoop layups broken up by Katsura. Another foul in Japan. And that's gotten us to a TV timeout. Got some Japanese fans in the crowd. I like it. All the way out here in Jakarta. And they saw Takahashi pull up for 2 there. Tuwell has eluded her for stretches this tournament. But this one on the money. Now Nanda at the free throw strike.
Ulaanbaatar. 7-all.
7-all. Takahashi will try again. Squeezed by Arjen Setseg. Ball's cleared. Kulan now on the drive. Kulan into traffic, and it's Arjen Setseg yet again. Back girl in the right place. And Ulaanbaatar with a 1-point lead. Tsurumi. Both these teams want to put up a high volume of 2-point shots. But the Amazons can also get a steady diet of post-ups for Arjen Setseg. Tsurumi, another attempt, front of the rim. And that drops right on the foot of Arjen Setseg. So Japan will retain possession.
Red ball, red ball. Under 6 minutes remaining.
Yoshida finding Katsura, who somehow gets that up and in. Lost the ball going up, but still squeezed it. And converts the layup. And there's Nadinkusel on the other end. Katsura open for 2. And now Bowler Adim will try one as well. Both teams swinging for defenses here, trying to throw a haymaker. Miyashita. Check her footwork. That bag in the post is deep. Nine tie stands on the board. We are past the halfway mark. Arjen Setseg controls the rock. Arjen Setseg, too much. Offensive foul.
Under 5 minutes remaining.
You're under 5 minutes in this one. Neither team willing to give up a lot. Kulan to Nanda. Pushes off, finds Kulan. Kulan with a difficult shot. Bolardin there with the board, a whistle on the floor. Fresh 12 here for the Amazons to work with. And there's a bucket underneath. Fade away from the mid-range. Another tie in the game. Kulan. Stepping back. Kulan a high arc into. No good. Miyashita's got position. Flips it backwards. Japan now up by 1. Under 4 minutes. Kulan back to Arjen Setseg. And a whistle there. And that's gotten us to a next TV timeout. So discussions with referee Devlin. But Japan hold a 1-point lead going into the last few minutes here. Look at the dexterity on Katsura, finding that Wilson midair. Somehow getting it to go. Kulan on the bench. Arjen Setseg is there. Crafty around the rim, ties the game up. Neither team has taken a big lead in this one. Katsura is open, plays broken up by Arjen Setseg. And then an offensive foul. It's only the second foul on Ulaanbaatar, who's played a clean defensive game. But there, Arjen Setseg extending the hips. Miyashita there, but play is blown off. And apparently that's a foul on Japan. That's a 6th team foul on Japan, who've been very physical in this game, but are now running into trouble. Next defensive foul, and then will be 2 free throws for Ulaanbaatar, and now they can't play physical at all. And Kulan just takes advantage. Drops the shoulder down on the block, easy score. Tsurumi. Wow, a high arc in 2. The accuracy on Japan. Kulan's open, passes overshot. There's Tsurumi with the runner as well. So now Japan with a 2-point lead. And Ulaanbaatar turns it over, make that a 3-point lead after this Katsura make. Kulan by herself. That layup is good. Japanese fans are hoping this 2-point lead will stand because Japan has not been to the finals at all in the Women's Series this year. Katsura, no. Try to throw another haymaker. Arjen Setseg to Kulan. And Kulan rims out. Two minutes remain in the game. Who will make it to their first finals of 2025? Will it be Ulaanbaatar? Will it be Japan? Back girl. Back at it. Post up for Miyashita. They find Katsura underneath, but it's broken up. 1-point game here. Nanda. Rock in hand. Operating. Surgical. Nanda. She plays with more poise than her age would tell you. Nandamonium tying the game up. She's already hit 2 game winners in this tournament. And definitely here in Jakarta, one of the most clutch players out on the court. A minute 30. We got a timeout. This game is a nail biter. Neither team wants to give up any ground. Japan's unlocked their long-range shots, and that's worked for them. Mongolia, though, they've driven at the basket relentlessly.
Let's go, ladies.
It's Yashita to Tsurumi. Another 2-ball attempt. It is just short. Tsurumi grabs her own board. 2 slow steps. Hangs in the air. No good. The Amazons with possession here. Kulan working the screening action. Kulan in the pick and pop for Arjen Setseg, who lines up the 2. That also a miss. Now a foul's called. Foul on White. We got a minute 6 and a reset here for Japan. Fresh 12-second shot clock and an option to break the tie. Miyashita. They run a flare screen action for Takahashi, who ends up pulling up from the logo off the mark. Katsura is there. Nanda. Another game-tying layup from Nandamonium. 40 seconds remaining. Oh, a block. Takahashi sent back twice, but the last one was too physical. Oh. Nadinkusel with the first rejection and then physical contact. Takahashi to the stripe. That means a free throw coming up. Ulaanbaatar not in foul trouble yet. Timeout on the floor.
Ulaanbaatar makes some noise. Let's go, ladies.
33 seconds to go. Miku Takahashi on the strike with an option to get her team up. And that's a 1-point lead for Team in Red. 30 ticks. Arjen Setseg with the rock. She gets it back to Nadine Kusel. Nadine Kusel on the drive. No space there. 1 second to go. Arjen Setseg has to force up a prayer, and that is called off. That is called off. Shot clock violation. Call on the floor is that. No review on the play, so Japan with a lead and 20 seconds to go. Katsura to Takahashi. Tsurumi is open. Beautiful play design. Katsura misses it. The Amazons have an option here. Nanda down to Arjen Setseg. 3 on the clock. Arjen Setseg loses to Wilson, and Japan picks up a win. The Amazons had the shot, and Japan had the defense to stop it. One more time, Arjen Setseg's there, but Takahashi strips to Wilson and gets her team a dub. And Japan go to the finals out here in Jakarta after a 17-16 win over the Ulaanbaatar Amazons. What a game from Japan. Y'all enjoy the highlights before we get reset for the second semifinal. That is up next. Don't go anywhere. Down to 3 hopefuls we are. Australia, Spain are going to have to figure out who makes it into the finals out of the semifinal and who's going to have to face Japan. These teams played good so far. The Aussies might even be considered dominant, or maybe even the most dominant in the field. This is your 1 and your 2 seed meeting up.
Next up, Australia versus Spain.
They have met up quite a bunch in the past. Those games have mainly gone Spain's way. At the World Cup in 2023 in the quarterfinals, the only Aussie win besides that, it's been Spain. Twice this year in the Champions Cup and in Marseille in the Women's Series stopped there. But the Aussies, of course, very capable. They put on a rebounding clinic again against Singapore. 21 rebounds for them. And it was Soa and Whittle and Hank who did most of the scoring, 6, 7, and 6 points respectively. Joined by Anli May, top rebounder that game, 8 rebounds. Balanced effort for them. No 2s made, but barely any 2s shot. Their offenses mainly consisted of 1s. Spain, that's a different story. They shot 13 2s, made only 2 of them. Both with the name of Alba Prieto. There's Prieto. Joined, of course, by Sandra Igravide, Gracia Alonso de Armiño, and last but not least, Juana Camilion. They beat down Thailand 19-12. Again, not a great shooting display, but they were good close to the basket. Also, great rebound in the ball. They are going to need Igravide, and her long-range shooting is slightly more. She was 0 for 7 against the Thai. I'm sure she took a look back at that and felt like she could improve on that 0 for 7 number there. Saw some frustration in that game. But let's see if Spain can keep the Aussies away from the glass, which is the main thing that Australia has been using to dominate the competition here. Just rebound after rebound after rebound. They are getting their hands on every single ball that comes off that rim.
Let's go, ladies.
One more 10-minute sprint to see who can make it into the finals. Who will join Japan? The Aussies will start the possession here. Meili checks the ball up top, guarded by Igravide. And here we go, 10-minute sprinting. Second semifinals from Jakarta at the first ever Indonesian Women's Series stop. It's been a blast so far. First shot's a miss. Spain controls the boards. Igravide down to Gracia Alonso de Arminio. Back to Igravide. Cross it. And she's fouled on the cross. Trying to attack Hank. First foul on the Aussies. There's Igravide with a clear look from 2. Off the mark. Great give and go action to Gracia. Widow with the mid-range pull-up. Spain get it back. Another one of those give and goes. They're really running. Gracia everywhere on the court. Aussies can't keep up. Now Meili to the rack. Gets the Kangaroos on the board. Igravide this time opts to take a drive. That's a miss as well. Soa gets the handoff. Soa by herself. Her offense has been a spark for the Aussies, working behind the screens. Her shooting as well, working off of the Hank screens. Now on the other end, it's Chameleon fading for the miss. 2-2, we are tied after a minute and a half. Prieto. Down to Gracia again. The pick and roll action and the off-ball screens for Spain are just picking the Aussies apart. Soa again with the left-hand scoop. That's a 2-ball down for Spain. Whittle. Plays broken up. Widow in position here, and Gracia just breaks up the play. Smart move. So Marina Widow at the stripe. Widow top 3 in highlights so far on the tournament. That is not a highlight. And that's not a highlight either. The Aussies are liable to miss a couple of shots under the basket. I think We've seen that happen all tournament long. Now they have been able to control the boards and shore up their misses. Meili this time on a drive, no. Rebound, Aussies, Meili, yes. That's a familiar sight for those of you that have watched some of the action here, but Gracia continues to completely obliterate the Aussies under the basket. 2 ball down. Sanza with the kick out there is Prieto for a wide open look. Nuh-uh. Soa, another one. Soa hangs on, turns it over. Ulaanbaatar, no. And a foul on the play. Double high post action here. Hank opts to take it herself. Hank up and over Gracia. I've not seen Hank seal as much as she has been all tournament. Gracia has been doing that. And it is a clinic. She's getting everything she wants and more against the Gangaroos here. TV timeout with the Aussies with a 2-point lead here, though. They got a couple twos to go down. That'll help. Alba creating that separation for the hydration. Soa this time. Oh, what a pass. Snuck that through, and Hank rewards her with the make. 3-point lead, Gangaroos. Hank pulls the emergency brake on Ulaanbaatar, who snuck by her and was going to get a layup. Pick and roll action again. Chameleon this time. And the Spanish screening's been superb. Oh, Meili. Crossed her off the map, missed the layup. Hank there trying to clean it up. Meili now with the rebound. It's Whittle finally. Also a no. And now the Wilson's out of bounds. So the Aussies get a couple of rebounds but can't convert the play. And it will be Spain possession. Prieto from behind the screen that uses all of the rim to go out. Chameleon eventually gets it in her hands. Stop and go for Ulaanbaatar, but she dragged the foot. Soa. Prieto locks her up, and then Prieto's knocked in the nose. Down on the floor, Soa drains the 2-ball before referee stop play. So Soa here. Seems like maybe a shoulder hit Prieto in the jaw there. I couldn't quite see it. But Prieto was down, and the Aussies, because of that, are up by 3. Slight break in the action here, as both teams get an opportunity to talk things over. Referees looking at the footage, try to see if anything egregious happened there. I don't think it did. So they're urging teams to get back out in the court. Spain possession. Ulaanbaatar spins away from the action but misses the layup. Our offense has disappeared in this game, at least a scoring touch. Chameleon now on the drive, all by herself. Scoop shot's good. Spain back within 3. So it's on the line. Hank with the fake. It took too long. Shot clock violation.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Australia 13, Spain 10.
We're past the halfway mark in this one. Hank is going to get a pass in there, but shot clock did go off. Spain with an opportunity to get back within 1 possession. To get it to Ulaanbaatar. Takes her time. Ball screen action with Gracia. Ulaanbaatar. That's a shot she'll normally take, but she's hesitant now because she's missing everything, and she does just that here. Bailey with a tough fader. Beautiful pass. Gracia sneaks through. 2-point game. Whittle. Shoulder bump. Almost loses the ball. Fades. No. Spain just continue to swing that ball so fast that Prieto wide open because of it. Drains the 2 ball. We're tied at 13. Neither team going anywhere. Good pass into Soa, but she's now in the crowd, and Chameleon locks up that ball. So TV timeout. No favorites in this one so far. Look at the beautiful pass into Gracia. Gracia definitely leading the scoring punch for Spain here. Who will meet Japan in the finals? That's the big question that we are all trying to answer here. Gracia's being worked on. Looks like she might have caught a cramp or something. Holding on to that leg. For Spain that she was able to return. Prieto, another look from 2. Now Soa's on the move. Hank was wide open. We haven't seen Hank seal as much as we have seen her earlier in the tournament, but this time it results in a Spain foul. So, whistle on the play. That is an offensive foul. This time, Chameleon opts for the drive, hangs and hits. Kangaroos now down 1, looking to create something here. Soa. Can't get the ball to Hank. Opts to take it herself. Offensive rebound yet again for the Aussies. Dominating the glass. That's what they do. And it's been working. Camilio. Alba. She has been unconscious from 2 all game, all day. Alba Prieto gets her team a 2-point lead. Whittle trying to change that narrative. Steps through. That's off the mark. Meili squeezes the rebound. Now it's Meili's turn. 2 ball and a lead. Meili. 16-16 in a nail-biter of a game. Gracia back on the court, but that is not online. Soa with the hesitation, in and out, no one home. Now she has to deal with Gracia. And that's not a good matchup for Mila Soa. Neither team willing to give up anything right now. Physical play. Foul on the Kangaroos, that's number 4. Another foul on the Kangaroos. That is 5. Camillion, no. Rebound to Spain, though. Camillion drives. Hank deflects. Soa then for 2. That is all net, all wet. 19-17. Igueravide. What a time that would have been for her to hit her first 2. Meili foot on the line. That's a 1. Wait a minute. That counts as a 2. Let's see what happens here. I do believe that score is going to be detracted as her foot was clearly on the line. Meili steps up and drains that, but her shoe size got in her way. So the game ain't done yet. We got a timeout, but the Kangaroos lead at 20-17. They got the best papers in this one so far. They've controlled the glass. They've been able to knock down a bunch of 2s as well. Whereas Spain has only gotten Prieto to shoot some. And Igueravide remains ice cold from range. They do get possession here, though. Can they come up with an answer here? Same answer they've been using all game. Gracia. Now they need to stop. And that's what they'll get, a travel on Soa. Prieta looking for space, fading away on the 2 ball, and it's good. Knuckleballs that home, tied at 20. Gracia's on the floor. Meili, mid-range, no. Hank with the board, Hank, no, but a foul on the play. Offensive rebounding has been the calling card for the Kangaroos all day long. And look at Hannah Hank getting her team an extra possession and possibly to win here. Forcing her way to the free throw stripe. One free throw coming up for Hank. A Trip to the finals on the line here. Hank, yes, ma'am. And the Gangaroos secured a victory in a tight one, 21-20. Valiant effort by Spain. They brought it back with a miracle shot from Prieto down the stretch, but not enough. They couldn't keep Hank away from the boards. And the Gangaroos got a date with Japan for $14,000 US. That final's coming up in just a short bit. We got the highlights first, of course. The finals game slated to start at 7:20 p.m. local time, so that is in right around 35 minutes. We're going to take a short break, and we'll see you guys then for the final here in Jakarta.
Informasi untuk semua teman-teman penonton, to all spectators, boleh untuk langsung menuju ke area lapangan karena sebentar lagi kita akan segera memulai untuk final Inas Pro 3x3 Jakarta Women's Series 2025 by Inas Pro. Kita punya partai final yang sangat luar biasa. Kita punya Australia yang akan berhadapan dengan Jepang. Jadi sekali lagi boleh untuk merapat yang lagi ada di festival area. Sebentar lagi kita akan ada di final. Dan mungkin kalau misalnya jajanannya udah selesai, udah beres menikmati jajanan-jajanan rams, jajanan sekeliling, ini boleh langsung menuju ke area lapangan kembali karena kita akan masuk di final dari Inos Pro 3x3 Jakarta 2025 Women's Series.
Only two teams left, two hopefuls, Japan and Australia, as we take on the final game here in Jakarta. Timur Park, stand up. Both teams undefeated so far. And let's see who comes out up top. If we go by history, there's a little inkling there. If we go by history, that might just be Australia. But we'll figure that out as we go. Both teams a valiant effort getting to the finals here. Japan coming all the way out of the qualifying draw. Taking care of the Philippines and the Ulaanbaatar Amazons earlier today. And the Aussies unbeaten out of Pool B. One more 10-minute sprint until we know who's going to go home with the first ever Jakarta stop crown, the first ever Jakarta stop bag. Aya Tsurumi out first for Japan. And they, again, barely squeaked by the Ulaanbaatar Amazons in the semifinals. 17-16 for their first finals run of the year. She's joined by Miku Takahashi. Kyo Miyashita, who led him in scoring against Ulaanbaatar with 8 points. Didn't miss from one. And Ai Katsura. And this is your team, Japan. They rely heavily on shooting a two ball. They have not shot it well today. They found ways to get it done. They found ways to win. And they're going to have to face off with a squad that's looked extremely good. The Aussies, a narrow 21-20 beatdown of Spain. That was close. And it was Milasoa with 12 points. Didn't miss a shot from the field. 4 of 4 from one. 4 of 4 from range. In an incredible display of offensive efficiency. Joined, of course, by Whittle, Maley, and Hank. His team's been dominating the rebound all day. 9 offensive rebounds against Spain as well. And they hit all 5 of their twos in that victory over Spain. Kirang Shi and Gain Kim will host the finals. And it's the Kangaroos against the Japanese. And I told you history is in Australia's favor. These teams have met up 8 times, dating all the way back to 2017. And 7 of those 8 times have been an Australian victory. Last one coming in the Asia Cup in March in the final, of course, where the Kangaroos picked up a gold medal. Japan's only victory was in the Olympic qualification tournament in 2021. Some Japanese fans have made it out to the bleachers out here in Timur Park, supporting that squad. And a clash of styles here is Japan, an undersized team that rely heavily on speed and athleticism. They tried to shoot the 2-ball at a high clip. It hasn't worked out today, but they still managed to string together a couple of victories. The Kangaroos, they are athletic and strong. And here we go. Soa getting things started. Layup not a make, but she's bumped in the process. So a foul and Mila Soa to the strike. This squad has found incredible balance with Soa driving to the basket, Maley and Whittle doing their work, and then Hank a force in the paint. Miyashita, difficult shot off the mark. Will gets it cleared. There's Hank. Good hands by Miyashita, though. That is a jump ball situation. And will be rewarded to the defense. So the Kangaroos will retain possession here, but Miyashita, undersized as she is, breaks up that play and makes sure Hank can't get an easy score. Kangaroos still up by 1. Maley all by herself. No one home for Japan. 2-zip. Takahashi to Miyashita. Drops it off to Tsurumi with a beautiful pass and a beautiful finish. Japan now on the board too. Meili. 2-women game with Hank. Hank flips it up. No good. But she is fouled. And Hank secures Australia's third point. Takahashi on the move. Takahashi, difficult shot, no good. Rebound traced down by Meili. They try to get it to Hank. She's double teamed, so Whittle has to shoot it. Another offensive rebound for the Aussies. There's Hank. Hank forcing it up, gets her own rebound, and the strength of the Aussies shines through yet again. Mid-range puller for Miyashita. Hits the back of the rim. There's Hank trying to two. Hadn't seen that all tournament. Katsura now. And Miyashita misses a point-blank layup. And now has to deal with Whittle. Katsura breaks up the play. Katsura from range. Meili no good, but fouled. Third foul in Japan. Katsura comes in there and just smacks Meili in the arm to earn those points from the free throw strike. Tsurumi to Takahashi, drains the long-range shot. This is Japan's bread and butter. They want to get a win. They need more of that. Meili muscles one up. Reset here for the Aussies. Fourth foul on Japan. Pick and roll action. Soa and Hank. Soa flips it to Hank. Hank is open. Working on those offensive rebounding stats again, but this time can't finish the play. Now it's Katsura's turn in the post. Into Tsurumi. And another 2-ball down for Japan. Fans in the crowd are loving it. This team with their speed, if they can get that shooting touch unlocked, they are unguardable. Hasn't happened in a lot of games this tournament, but I'll tell you, if it does, they are very tough to beat. They got the speed, they got the footwork, they got the chemistry. And again, if you can add a sprinkle, just a sprinkle of twos in there, although this helps. Miyashita. Backdoor cut is snuffed out. That is a kickball. Big miss there, but another rebound. Undersized team like Japan has to secure those. Takahashi, no, but another offensive board. Now it's Miyashita on the move. Forgets the Wilson. Whittle with it. Meili, no. So the Aussies are being driven away from the basket by the Japanese physicality somewhat. Katsura looking for space, give and go action. Takahashi again, and Japan is unconscious. The deuces are wild in this one. Japan up by 4 with efficiency on offense shooting that 2-ball at a high clip. Timeout. Kangaroos are going to have to figure out a way to guard the arc, although this balance that Japan has struck with some scores inside is going to make that difficult. They can't sell out on the ones. They have to guard both. Soa, no. Whittle with the board. There's Maley tracing down a rebound as well. Again, the Aussies not very efficient from one, but they'll make sure to finish the plays by getting offensive board after offensive board. And no, mate, get that away. Six minutes to go, and Japan in possession. Tsurumi with the fake, but not the make. Can't have them all. High post look now for the Kangaroos. They get it to Maley. Maley on the drive, pulls up for the mid-range. Hank again with the rebound. The size advantage for the Aussies is real, but Japan's fighting. Three Japanese women to the ball every time the rebound's had. Incredible. Takahashi looking for space. Tsurumi flips the pass in. It's broken up. Good hands by Hank. Good read. Soa. Whittle. And Australia fight themselves back. 4-point deficit down to 2. Tsurumi looking to change that. Another 2-ball down for Japan. They're lighting up the Jakarta skies right now. Whittle. Fades. Easy make. That is a height advantage Tsurumi's not going to be able to beat. 10-7, but the Aussies are fighting twos with ones. Miyashita, no. Tsurumi traces it down. Yes. No box like a bad game of Tetris. And the Aussies looking at a 4-point deficit yet again. Maley looking to force the issue here. No room, so Hank's left out there with no time on the shot clock. Katsura dives into the basket. A wild attempt, difficult shot, high arcer, but it still goes down. Five-point lead for Japan now. The Aussies, they're going to have to figure something out here. This might work. Soa bump it. And getting that bucket. Now she has to deal with Katsura, though. Katsura with the okie doke. Up and under. All right, Katsura. Footwork. So the Aussies seem sped up. They're going away from the deliberate action that they've used all tournament long. They're just trying to create one-on-one offense here. I don't know if that's where their advantage against the Japanese lies. Katsura, no. And a TV timeout with a 13-8 score in favor of Japan. They are trying to play the Giant Slayer here. Again, historic matchup, not in their favor, but look at the shooting. Tsurumi with a slight hesitation and enough space to drain that bomb. This is the best version we've seen of this Japan team. And then Katsura, yoink. 3:40 on the clock, and the Kangaroos turn it around. Hank is open. They can't get it to her. Lob pass now into Hank. There it is. Here's Miyashita. Takahashi. That's online. That is good. Japan's out here connecting like the magnet trains, and Aussies can't keep up. 15-10. Tsurumi now left open. Sidesteps into a 2-ball. That's off the mark. I thought that first shot looked a little bit better. That first look was a little bit better than what she ended up with. But that's why I'm not out there. Under 3 minutes. Kangaroos looking to get back. They're going to need some twos, or they're going to need some scores and stops, whatever they want to do. Hank. Widow under the basket. And there's Katsura on the cut again. My, oh my, this Japan team's putting on a clinic. Whittle here is pulled down. Will be a foul in Japan. That is number 6. So if anything, that is in Australia's favor. But the Aussies struggling to keep up with that Japanese pace on offense. The shooting touch for Tsurumi and Takahashi. .225 on the clock. We get it to Soa. A look for Mila. Back irons. Katsura again keeps going to that right hand close to the basket and is crafty finishing up and over the Kangaroos. Now Whittle loses it. Ball's tied up. Who is in possession? Because the other team will get it here. So Kangaroos possession here. Soa to the basket by herself, up and off the glass. A 5-point game in favor of Japan. Miyashita. No one home. Meili, this is needed for the Kangaroos, and they miss it. Japan's playing at an extreme pace, And Katsura adds to it. 20 points for Japan. Whittle does something back, but Japan's at game point. The way they're playing, this game's about to be over in 5 seconds. Miyashita, no, blocked, but a foul. Meili comes in there for the rejection, but sends Miyashita to the line. And we could be looking at the 6th Women's Series winner of the year in Japan here. Miyashita, and she does just that. Japan pick up a win here in Jakarta. What an offensive display. First ever Women's Series event win for Japan, and they get it done in historic fashion against the Kangaroos that they have not been able to beat at the international level since 2021. Katsura, Tsurumi, Takahashi, and Miyashita pick up a victory for the land of the rising sun and get a Women's Series dub. The Japanese people in the crowd give them a round of applause, and it's well deserved because that finals game was offensive brilliance by Japan. And I'd add to it that their defense wasn't all that bad either. They were amazing. So Japan pick up a dub in front of a crowd that's cheering them on. The Kangaroos are left without their second Women's Series title on the year. And an event here, the Women's Series event in Jakarta, will come to a close in just a few minutes after we hand out some hardware, of course. We got the MVP award to hand out, as well as, of course, the first prize to Japan. But what a display from them, all the way from the qualifying draw into the main draw, into the quarterfinals, into the semifinals, and eventually into the finals. Y'all wave at the crowd, man. They're waving at us. They are waving at us. There you go. But wonderful display by Japan, especially in that final game, which was incredible. We'll step away for just a minute, and then we'll hand out some hardware. There's your MVP, Miyashita. Top scorer on the team, led the team in player value as well. Active under the basket, her footwork, her moves, and her defense as well. Miyashita, well-deserved most valuable player award out here in Timur Park.
The award for the MVP.
There's that beautiful award. So Miyashita picks up an MVP.
And
now, of course,
the winner of
the
3x3
winners get to
Women's
come out
Series
and celebrate.
2025.
All of the lights are on them.
Aya Surumi.
It's Aya Tsurumi, Miku Takahashi, of course, Kiyo Miyashita, and Aoi Katsura. And Japan, dominant, didn't lose a single game in the tournament, came from the qualifying draw, defeating Romania, Puerto Rico into Pool D, where they faced off with Christchurch and Singapore. Then the Philippines in the quarterfinals, the Amazons from Ulaanbaatar in the semifinals, and they played their best game very last in that game against Australia in the finals. Dominant display, especially from two, which had been a struggle for them all day, but they got it done. Japan, your winners out here in Jakarta. Sixth different winner on the Women's Series this year in 9 stops. And it's time to celebrate. Japan trying to catch that confetti. But it's time to celebrate for them, for the fans who turned up on this final day. And congratulations to Japan and the program working behind these ladies as well. First ever winner out here in Jakarta, because this is the first ever Women's Series stop. So thank you to the organizers, of course, for hosting this event. And give it up one more time for Japan. And as we celebrate this team, we get ready to step off the mic. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you to the crew out there in Jakarta. Thank you to the crew out here behind the mic as well as in the van. And on the buttons, this was the Mountain Boz Rosendahl. And I thank you for listening. Women's Series Jakarta, over and out.
Ingat besok kita masih akan ada pertandingan lainnya di Nasro 3x3 Jakarta 2025. Kita punya 3x3 Challenger. Jadi kalau misalnya besok pengen lihat lagi pertandingan-pertandingan seru dan menarik, silahkan datang lagi. Dan jangan lupa juga untuk diintip informasi paling barunya di sosial media kita di @3x3JKT. Terima kasih untuk semua sponsor yang sudah mendukung juga Inas Pro 3x3 2025. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you to our global sponsor Wilson Gior, Ulaanbaatar, Amazon Rapid, dan juga terima kasih banyak untuk lokal sponsor yang sudah mendukung Simpati Wonder by BNI, MS Glow Beauty, lalu juga MS Glow Formen, Emilia Madu Enak, Aqua Durafa, Bali Fiber, Red Bull Cup, Rajak Hospital, Bebas Cedera, Free Fire, Kopi Kenangan, Sambal Bakar, dan jajaran sekeliling. Terima kasih pastinya sebesar-besarnya untuk Kemenpora yang sudah mendukung